How did this musical tour come into being?
Well, I started producing video game music concerts in 2004 with dear friends Music from Final Fantasy. And obviously the success of that tour has kind of paved the way for these other incarnations of video game music concerts that I've been creating. In 2006, I created another show called Play a Video Game Symphony. And I started developing a relationship with Nintendo through that. Play is a concert that features a catalog of music, not just specific to one title like Final Fantasy or The Legend of Zelda. It actually features Metroid, Mario, Zelda, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, the list goes on and on and on. And that was really where my relationship with Nintendo began. And over the years, they were aware of what I was doing with Play and some of my other projects. And so obviously with the 25th anniversary concerts coming, the 25th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, we had the idea of doing some really big projects that involved orchestral treatments of these scores. So we had the opening of the E3 press conference, which featured an orchestra that pretty much opened the press event, and they were making a lot of announcements. Some of the announcements they made were that I'd be producing 3 concerts for the 25th anniversary concerts of The Legend of Zelda, one in LA, one in Tokyo, and one in London. And then of course the orchestral CD that would accompany the release of Skyward Sword would be an orchestral CD produced by my company, which would serve as a bundle with the release of Skyward Sword. So we had an amazing amount of success with those 3 concerts in London, LA, and Tokyo. And at that point, my team, we kind of went back to the drawing board. We're like, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's create a touring show of The Legend of Zelda, and that was when the Symphony of the Goddesses was born. And 50 shows later, 2 years later, we're still touring, and it's been just building a ton of steam, a lot of momentum, and continuing on.
What is it about the music in Zelda specifically that makes it so popular, you think?
Just, you know, I mean, anytime you have a franchise that spans over 27 years, anything from the main themes to, you know, there's just a lot of catchy melodies. Koji Kondo is a working genius, and someone who really knows how to draw you in into the music. And so I tip my hat off to Koji Kondo. He's solely responsible for a lot of these catchy melodies, and so yeah, so it's just like I said, 27 years of music, you know, and taking from these bips and bleeps and blowing it into 4 orchestral scores, it works perfectly for what we're doing.
What was it like performing at E3 this year?
Well, it's been the 2nd year in a row. Well, it's actually been the 3rd year in a row that we've done something at E3. And it just continues to get better. You know, this year was even better than last year. We decided to do it at the Greek Theater. The Greek Theater is a venue that is, it's very storied. It's kind of like a who's who of entertainers that perform there. So it's always an honor to have a tie-in with E3, and to be able to have the concert in LA, you know, and have some of the people from Nintendo, like Aonuma-san, the producer of Legend of Zelda, was in attendance, you know, as a guest, and of course Bill Trennan was there, and some of our other colleagues at Nintendo. It's nice. It's nice to be able to bring it to them, you know, and so it's just you know, a dream come true.
What do you think makes the Zelda music so iconic?
Yeah, again, you know, it's just the iconic is just the story of the game, The Legend of Zelda. You know, there's not really any other games that come to mind that really have such a following. So I think just the popularity is really what makes it iconic, you know, and that's, you know, anytime you have an icon, it's really based off popularity. So, you know, these people are, they're the ones who give it its acclaim, you know, and just the fans themselves have really truly put it on a pedestal and made it iconic. So the music is nonetheless iconic. Everything from the gameplay footage to the graphics being enhanced as we develop and evolve. The music is kind of, it's evolved at the same pace. So it's continued to have more depth, and you know, the treatments are wonderful.
Can you go a little bit into the process of what it takes to produce a show of this scope?
Well, you know, we all start, we work off what we have. So, you know, we obviously take the elements that we have from the game. We take the musical elements, we take the visual elements, and that's the first course. We get our assets from Nintendo and what they're willing to give us, and then we kind of work with that. We create a story, if you will, and we kind of put it into the model that I've created for these types of shows, which is a visual accompaniment to an orchestra. And naturally, we don't scale down the size of the orchestra, so we have for my productions we usually use a 66-piece orchestra and a 24-voice choir. And we look at a conductor who is very traveled and very seasoned, someone who has a lot of experience working with orchestras. And then, of course, I have Chad Sider, who's our music director, who really is responsible for the music. He works very closely with Koji Kondo and his team to create the arrangements that we have. Once we get that done and we get that approved, then we can pretty much lay down the music to the video, and we typically edit the video to the music. So then we take all that, and then we pretty much we put it to what's called a click. So we have what's called a click track, kind of like you would see, like in Hollywood when they do sound stages and they record. We do the same thing, except for we're doing it live. So we have to create all this and have it performed live. And then the rest is just booking venues and having my agent pretty much sell the show into certain orchestras or certain presenting partners, and the marketing of it, all those things. There's a lot involved into doing this, but I've been doing it for almost a decade now, and I have a lot of experience in doing these types of things. So for me, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's just it's what I do. So, but that's kind of a glimpse into the process. I mean, there's a lot of little intricacies that I don't want to bore you guys with, and also kind of little trade secrets that I really can't reveal. But everyone has to have their own secrets. But that's really the gist of it.
Where can people find out more information about this musical tour?
Sure. www.zelda-symphony.com. You can also visit www.jmppresents.com. And also my new show, which is launching, it's www.replay-symphony.com.
Which is your favorite Zelda game?
I would say I like Wind Waker, but I also like Skyward Sword.